Live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Total Education Show, the talk shop for teachers, parents, and administrators. Here's your host of the show, Neil Haley, the Total...
We're back to the Neil Haley Show, powered by the Total Celebrity segment, and I am excited about my guest. I could just list all the great shows he's been in. Happy Days, Dynasty, Love Boat, Married with Children, which was one of my favorite, Revenge of the Nerds. So I'm excited to welcome to the program Ted McGinley. Ted, thanks for calling, and thanks for coming on the show today.
My pleasure. Thanks, Neil, for having me. It's fun to be here, and I appreciate you taking the time.
No, here's the situation, Ted. I talked about listing all of these accomplishments of great shows that you were on. Do you have a favorite, or is it like a child, you can't choose your favorite of all those different shows I mentioned?
Yeah, it is funny. They're all uniquely different. Like, I have different, for each one, there's something either that I learned and I took with me forever, or there were experiences along the way that would never be topped, like the Love Boat, for example, traveling to Egypt and spending 2 weeks on the Nile in a little boat, and those kind of things that I would never get to duplicate. And the first class service that Aaron Spellman provided for us was amazing. And then things like Happy Days. Working on that show for 4 years is basically my training ground.
Yeah.
And so I was learning from Henry Winkler and Marion Ross and Tom Bosley. And it's like, well, who gets to do that? That was my first job. And then Revenge of the Nerds, the insanity, the crazy time period in the 80s, early 80s in the United States, and making that film. What a crazy time we had making that movie. And then, let's see, Dynasty, I was in a love triangle between Catherine Oxenberg and Heather Locklear. Like, it doesn't get better than that. Those were amazing experiences. And then today, now I'm doing, I just played a murder in a movie called The Landlord, and I've got another one called Axel, where I played a real turd dad. And, it just, all of those things, each one becomes something that you get that you're proud of, or hopefully, or you hang on to. There's something that was uniquely fun about it. And so, they're all kind of like kids. But you can't help it. Married with Children was one of the great all-time gigs and great jobs, and I love the people. And so that was a great one. And Nerds, those were probably my two faves.
It's so interesting. And when I talk about Married with...
the show I did with Kelly Ripa, now I think about it. Pardon me?
You have so many shows. The same thing. When my interviews, Ted, all the major celebrities I've interviewed and different people, I can't choose which one's my favorite. They always ask me that question. And I said, I can't answer that, because every one of them I have some sort of...
It's really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right.
It's very true, and it's impossible.
It's definitely impossible. Now, looking at specifically enough this opportunity, Battle of the Network Stars. I mean, I was such a huge fan when that was first on, to be asked to do this. And then what kind of training are you doing, Ted, to be ready for this?
Yeah. Well, I did this originally. Like, I was in the original Battle of the Network Stars. So this was myself and Greg Evigan, who's also on my team. And it's TV moms and dads against TV kids. And Greg Evigan and myself had both done this before in the day. And so it was fun for us to sort of revisit how it was all done and how we went about it. But it's uniquely different in that now they'll have a guy and a girl from each team compete against each other. In the old days, it was constantly everything was a relay. Like,
right.
The whole team had to go through and compete. So it's different. But we filmed it up at Pepperdine in June, which is here in Malibu. So it's like 15 minutes from my house, and I could drive myself up there. It was great. I showed up, and they had all these, Mike Greenberg and Joe Tessitore and Cassidy Hubarth and Carrie Champion, all these sideline reporters. The girls were the sideline reporters, and they were wearing the Wide World Sports throwback jackets that Howard Cosell used to wear. And so it was really fun. Like, they tried to do something with it. But anyway, first thing we do, I get there, I said, look, I'll do the show, but I'm not going to do any of the sprinting. I run.
Yeah.
So I had been running and swimming a little. I do, because I was getting ready for this film where I played the murder So I was getting in shape, and I thought, well, this is great. I'll use the Battle of the Network Stars to sort of force me to get into shape a little bit, and it worked. But I run, but I don't sprint. So I said, look, I'll do the show, but I'm not going to do the run. And I got up there, and Greg Evigan said, well, I can't run. He said, I had my ACL redone. I can't do the run. So now they're going to have one of the girls have to do the track thing twice. And I said, all right, God, I'll do it.
Wow.
And then something very bad happens.
Oh no! So we have to tune in on Thursday.
You'll have to tune in.
Yep. Oh my.
Yeah, it's 9:00 ABC, August 3rd. Something very bad happens, and all of my buddies are going to tune in to see it in slow-mo. I don't know if it'll be in slow-mo, but anyway, it's going to be humiliating for me.
Oh, Ted. Oh, then that's just already everyone is ready. We're going to go see this TV. We're going to watch this because we want to see what happens to Ted. And then people that have rooted for your characters or have hated your characters in your career, they're like, okay, let's see this pretty boy and what he's going to be able to do in Battle of the Network Stars. So, oh my.
Well, it's fun to see how all the pretty boys have. It's fun to see how all the pretty boys have aged. We definitely ain't what we used to be. And then we're going against, by the way, the TV kids. It's not fair because they've got Jonathan Lipnicki. You know who he is?
Yeah.
From Jerry Maguire?
Yes.
He was the kid.
Wow.
He's in phenomenal shape. He's a monster today. And Kristen Marie Yu, the kid she's on Dr. Ken, super cute young gal, great shape. And then Jeremy Miller.
Yeah.
From the Alan Thicke Show. So they had all these young kids. And then, of course, they had Jimmy Walker and Mackenzie Phillips to try to even out the age thing. But so it was stacked against us. And it's something else.
And how about working with Ronda Rousey? That's pretty interesting, too, right? She's an interesting person.
Yeah. Because I'm a huge fan.
Are you? Oh.
And so I was so excited to get to meet her. She's the coach of the other team of the TV kids. And we had DeMarcus Ware, who is an amazing football player, stud, coaching us. and after the injury, he's the one giving me tips on how to make it work, what I'm supposed to do to heal, etc. Anyway, but Ronda Rousey is a stud. And I was so excited to get to talk to her and sort of I wanted to tell her how important I thought that was that it wasn't really about whether she wins or not. And she was so upset about whether or not she won, I felt. And I thought, you've done so much already. You don't really have to win. You just have to be you. And I couldn't wait to chat with her. That was really cool.
That's cool. And it's cool catching up with everyone as well. So everyone needs to tune in Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, to Battle of the Network Stars and see what happens to Ted. Ted, do you have social media so people can connect with you and stuff? Where can we check you out at?
It's funny. I'm on Facebook, I guess, and I have an Instagram, but I don't do it. But Facebook, and then I'll try to figure it out. But it's funny because right now these are the times where I wish I had it because it's good for me to promote stuff. But the truth is, I watch people do it, and I think I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in that game. It feels so phony, so I just don't do it.
Well, you already have the reputation, Ted. You don't have to worry about it. But these young actors and actresses today, they have to. But for you already have that brand, so yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I work with people who get hired based on how many followers they have. So
really?
It makes great sense, too. Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes they'll ask you in interviews how many, what's your social media platforms and how many do people follow you, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's sort of the new world today. So everybody should be doing it. Right. And it's my own personal protest.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Ted, great talking to you. Loved you in all those shows. It was an honor to have you on the show, and good luck, and we'll tune in Thursday, all right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so
Ted.
much, Neil.
All right, take care.
Have a great day.
You too, Ted. Take care. All right, see you later. Bye-bye. You're listening to Neil Haley's show. We'll be back in just a... We're back to the Neil Haley show on the Total Celebrity segment. I'm excited to welcome the program. We all know him from Platoon, Greenleaf, They Live, Keith David. Keith, thanks for calling. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. Now, what role do you think you people recognize you most from? And when you meet people, in your everyday thing, which one do you think is the most recognizable on the streets and stuff, Keith?
It all depends on the age of the person, but something about Mary seems to be a big. A lot of people recognize me from that.
Really, yeah. One of the most funny scenes in the world you were in, for sure, from Something About Mary.
Well, I appreciate that. I thought it was fun to do.
Yeah, and my wife was a huge Platoon fan, and she showed me a bunch of segments before our interview, just saying, because I have never seen Platoon, if you can't believe that one, but and you were unbelievable in that. What a cast you worked with for that film.
Yes, that was a wonderfully unique opportunity, and it still resonates with me today.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about your latest project, Union Furnace, and tell me the character and the storyline for this movie.
Well, it's have you seen it?
I have not gotten to see it. I've just been reading up on it, so I didn't get to see it, Keith.
Okay. I believe, at least for me, it's a cautionary tale about one's love of money, and what the willingness that some people are linked, that some people will go for money. The importance placed on it. In a capitalistic society as we live in, you got to be careful. Where you place it. I did a movie called They Live, and there were all these subliminal messages from them out there about money being your god,
right?
And and worship money. And if you look at Union Furnace in terms of that kind of messaging, in a town where ironically it's called Union Furnace, where it used to, that used to be the big how people made their money, but
right.
With this big furnace that is now closed down, so the society is extremely poor.
Okay.
And there are few, only the haves are represented.
Yes.
A handful of people, and what they do for sport. It was, you felt there's some sort of backlash to the Greco-Roman times, where people just, Romans throwing the Christians into the ring with lions, just for sport. And there's a big parallel here. What people do for sport, and the lengths to which they would go.
Yes.
Because these other are what they're willing to do for money.
Exactly. When you said that there's the haves and the have-nots, and there's not many haves, Keith, you have a situation where people are wanting and are desperate to want to be in that position, and they're going to make the wrong decisions to get there.
Oh, yeah. Be careful of what you ask for.
Definitely.
You will be provided the means, but is that what you really want to do?
And then once you get there, if you did it in the wrong way, you're really in some deep trouble, aren't you, Keith?
Well, at the end of the day, that's what I felt. I've been saying that I don't think that young woman will ever spend a dollar of that money without remembering how she got it. And you it left me wondering whether or not she'll be able to spend all of it. I mean, initially she'll go out and do what she says as she promises with the kids. You're gonna have a holiday, but in the middle of that holiday, what horror will occur to her, and how much fun will she really be able to have? How long can she keep any of that to herself?
So true. And that's pretty much our society today. You get to where you want, and did you really ask for it? And that's a big thing. So, Keith, tell us about your character in the film.
I think, he's a guy, again, who gets swept into a situation by a stranger who he meets in a bar type situation, and especially after a few drinks, because everybody's situation in that movie, everybody has some kind of economic hardship.
90 seconds.
It's not easy for, quote unquote, the devil to walk up to you with a seemingly good idea,
Right.
But the fine print of the contractor says you'll be good. Just some of the things that you'll be doing, you may not have signed up for.
Absolutely. And what has been the feedback from people that have seen the film so far, Keith? What feedback have you gotten from people that have seen the film so far? People have been reacting very positive. It's a strange kind of, David Lynchian kind of reality kind of film. And so, and part of the reason that I did it was, I think Nick has got a lot of potential as a filmmaker. I'm excited to see what he does next. And this film will certainly whet your appetite in that direction. It seems like it. And it's interesting you said that some of that connectivity to They Live in so many ways. And I think that's what you like in your projects, Keith, is you like working on certain projects that, really speak to this, to the story, right? It seems like that's the kind of stuff you like to put to be part of in a lot of ways. Isn't that true?
Well, I love, the theater, the movies. It's still that place we get to explore what it is to be a human being. And I love those stories that have, sort of double entendre meanings. It seems to be about entertainment. And in this film, under the guise of entertainment, at what price? Glory.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, it has definitely, that kind of dual resonance, and I love those kinds of things.
All right. Well, fantastic, Keith. Where's the best place we can find information on you, learn more about you? Again, the film will be out August 15th on Blu-ray and DVD, but where can we find info on you?
KeithDavid.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks for calling, man. Yeah, thanks for calling. Appreciate it. And everyone needs to check out the film. See ya. Take care. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye. You're listening to Neil Haley's Show, and we'll be back in just a moment. We're back to the Neil Haley Show on the Total Celebrity segment, and I'm excited to welcome the program celebrity Samantha-Harris of Culinary Genius on Fox TV. Samantha, thanks for calling. How are you?
Hi, Neil. Doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. I wanted to kind of look at, all your hosting gigs that you've done. Is this a little bit different than some of the other ones that you've done where you've interviewed people and have had that kind of situation compared to this new show?
Yeah, I think the similarities that I still, as host, run the show, interview people. But for me, people tend to know me from Dancing with the Stars, Entertainment Tonight,
Right.
Even the NBC show Stars Are in Stripes, right? So always celebrity involvement. This doesn't have celebrities, and that's what I love. I'm a Minnesota girl, born and raised. I'm about real people, and as much as I love working in the entertainment business with celebrities, and they are real people, I'm going to just don't want to disillusion anyone. They are real people, but it is really fun to be able to be in a genre that is completely new to me and fresh for me. Of course, the culinary space, and this cooking competition couldn't be produced or working with someone that's better because it's Gordon Ramsay.
Absolutely. And then when you heard about this opportunity, for sure, and the preparation, like you said, when you're interviewing celebrities and different things, you had to really learn more about Dancing with the Stars and understand all the kind of nuances. The same thing when it comes to this show, right? To really understand what these culinary geniuses are able to show, and then see if another person can kind of follow those directions. So you really have to ask some of those interesting questions and a lot of research, right?
Right. Well, I think, too, for me, I'm a big fangirl watching the show from, the studio, standing in the studio, because I love learning how to prepare different things, how the tips and the tricks that I learned from both Gordon Ramsay, but also from our lead chef, Chef Edward Lee, who is in the studio with me every day. And he's in the trenches. He does a demonstration almost every episode before the cooks. They say, like we said, it's a competition show. So it's broken down into two parts. The first part is really it's an elimination round, really, but it's disguised as either a culinary game or a culinary technique challenge. And if it's a challenge, first Chef Edward demonstrates exactly how to do it. So is it how to extract the meat from a whole lobster, making sure you get every last morsel, including the meat from the legs, which is, I don't know if you know this, but that's actually one of the sweetest meats in the lobster.
Yeah. It takes a lot of work.
Or how to
Yeah.
It's a tremendous amount of work, and the chefs, these home cooks have never done this, or even how to take a bell pepper and cut it into matchsticks. Now, it seems when you go to a fine restaurant and you have matchsticks presented on a plate, oh, no big deal, you just chop it up. No. It is to get them as uniform and perfect. It is very hard. So that's sort of part one. And part two, after we've eliminated 2 of the 5 contestants, we have 3 remaining cooks who now have the best part of the show, which is the cook-off. And they only have 25 minutes to make an entire beautiful presented meal, from conceptualizing it to plating it in a way that you would expect to see at a fine restaurant. I don't know about you. I can barely make my morning smoothie in 25 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Or anything.
So I'm wowed. I'm wowed every episode. I walk away with all this great new knowledge. I've had, you have so much fun watching it because of the game part of it. And, oh my God, one of the games, Neil, I have to tell you, one of the games, and this one is my favorite.
Okay.
Our contestants have to hand whisk, so to separate egg whites, and then they have to hand whisk it into such a fury that they can hold the bowl over their head upside down and have nothing slime them.
Oh my gosh!
So of course I want to see them get slime, but I'm trying to be a cheerleader, but I just secretly want to see someone get slimed.
And are these cooks intimidated by the genius, the culinary genius, and how he is able to present this meal and then say, we have to do the same thing? They probably not had these opportunities sometimes, right? In learning this.
No, first of all, they never had an opportunity to work so closely with someone like Edward Lee or Gordon Ramsay, overseeing everything. It is a lot of pressure for these cooks because they're there. I ask them every episode. I'm always so curious why they want to be on Culinary Genius. What would it mean to them to earn the title Culinary Genius by winning the episode? And each of them say they all have slightly different reasons, but I think the overarching one is they feel that they are really a good cook. Actually, some of them don't feel that they're great, but they think they're good and they want validation. But others, they really feel that they work hard at their kitchen at home, whether it's preparing meals for their family or for their friends. And to be able to have that validation from a renowned chef like Edward Lee, and knowing that they're on a Gordon Ramsay show is just such an incredible feat for them. And again, as a viewer, you're watching Culinary Genius and you're having so much fun, but you're learning a lot. And it's just a 3-week limited run. It's a half-hour program. So it's on Fox stations. Some markets it's on right at the dinner hour. Sometimes it's on in the middle of the day, so you want to, of course, check your listings. But you get to have all those great ideas for what you might want to cook for your family and friends too. And then how to do it, how to cut, how to dice, how to slice, how to fillet an entire whole salmon raw. It's
wow. And see, and then the people that are in these cooking shows, they'll find it. Samantha, you know it. Just in the popularity of people that want to watch these shows. They say, I want to learn something. They're the most popular on television today. So even though...
and I think, it's because we're all trying to cook, right? We're all at home. Whether it's cooking for one, living by yourself and trying to figure out how to eat decently if you're living alone, or cook for an entire family. I know, I'm a mom. I have a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old girl. My girls are so it's fun to be in the kitchen cooking with them, but I also want to try to vary their meals and trying to cook something in 25 minutes while I'm juggling getting home from a shoot and dealing with their homework and shuttling them from their different activities. It's hard. So this is an inspiring show. I hope that people love watching Culinary Genius.
And see, there you go. So if it's successful, it continues, and Samantha will bring us great information. So best place we can find information on you. Everyone needs to tune in August 7th. Check their local listings across the country to watch Culinary Genius. And where's the best place we can find information on you, Samantha? Follow you, find info on you. Where can we go?
Twitter at Samantha Harris, Instagram and Facebook at Samantha Harris TV. And I'm just excited to be able to be in your living rooms every day for these 3 weeks, Monday through Friday. Absolutely. And any other projects you want to tell our audience, or you need to just go check you out on social media to find out what's going on with you? Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate you asking. People can always check out my website, Gotta Make Lemonade, which Gotta Make Lemonade is an online community to inspire positivity in the face of adversity, born out of my own battle with cancer.
Oh, wow.
and wanting to help bring a little bit of light and support to a greater community beyond cancer with any of life's challenges that knock you down, and how you get up, turn it into something better. And I'm always looking for new story submissions, and I read everything that comes in. So that's just Gotta Make Lemonade, GOTTA, makelemonade.com. And I've got a lot of other exciting projects that I look forward to talking to you more about, but Culinary Genius on Fox is right now something I'm just ecstatic for you.
Oh, yeah. You're working with Gordon Ramsay. Come on now. What an awesome gig. So, Samantha, thanks for calling. Everyone needs to check out your website as well, and best of luck with all your ventures. Thanks for calling. Neil, thanks so much. You have a great one. I appreciate it. You too. Take care. Thanks, man. All right, take care. See ya. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You're listening to Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment. We're back to the Neil Haley Show on the Total Celebrity segment, and I'm excited to welcome this guy. He got me hooked on Sharknado last year. And so I started tweeting it out. My daughter and I started to love the show, my oldest daughter. So I'm excited to welcome to the program the creator, Anthony-c-Ferrante of Sharknado. Anthony, thanks for calling. Anthony, last year you hooked me on Sharknado. Once I did that interview, I watched the marathon, and I said, man, this is the best. I love it. So you have such great, it's such a great creative thing. Thank you. Yeah.
No, it's like crack. You just like watch it and you're like, I must have more. Give me more sharks and tornado.
I just find it fascinating and funny in so many ways. But yeah, could you ever think something up like this, Anthony? And that's the thing. After watching it, now the first time I interviewed you, I was just kind of researching, but watching it, to think about a shark and a tornado. What? Two things that people are so deathly afraid of, right?
Yeah. No, I think it makes it, I think what it did is like the Jaws made it so people were afraid of going into the water. Sharknado made it okay to laugh at sharks, and I think we did the same thing for tornadoes. It's like, it's fine. We just get a chainsaw. We'll be okay.
For sure. And now we're going to global swarming on Sunday, August 6th. And I know you're so excited. Did you think when you first started Sharknado, you get all the way to the 5th? I think there's going to be a lot more to come for sure, Anthony.
Yeah, no, we never thought it would go this far, and we're grateful that it has. I mean, we have this huge fan following, and they keep coming back, and they keep letting us make these movies, and we keep getting to do bigger and more insane things. We filmed in 5 different countries for this film. We went to Bulgaria, London, Tokyo, Australia, and Italy, and it just adds to the kind of the magic because we're actually in these places. You know, we're coming up with crazy stuff on the spot. You know, we added the Pope when we were in Italy, so we filmed Bobbio when we got back to LA to do the Pope scenes. And, you know, it's just crazy. These movies are very organic, and we do them quickly. We started shooting this movie in January, and we delivered it like 2 weeks ago to the network. So they're very fast. We're very efficient, and you know, just always coming up with crazy ideas. It's awesome.
Yeah, Anthony, when I was talking to one, listening and researching this, that you do come up with crazy ideas right on the spot. Okay, we have a cameo appearance. We're going to throw this person in here. So the main actors are like, what's going on here? So it's kind of like a organized chaos, right, when you're shooting, isn't it?
Yeah, I call it an energy of desperation is basically what we call it. It's like, you know, you have 12 hours to shoot as much stuff as possible. There's no standing around going, you know, that car is green. I demanded that it was red. Okay, we're going to stop right now, and you're going to make sure that you change the color of the car. No, it's like, all right, so it's that color, and it doesn't work because 2 tires are not on it. All right, so this is what we're going to do. And then you just come up with something and make it work. You got to get your footage in to make your days on these movies. And like I said, a lot of fun stuff comes out of that. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for Global Swarming, but there's a moment where there's this kid with a shark helmet on, and you know, we wanted to give him a shark kill, and we never found a moment. And I was sitting there looking at the helmet, like, you should headbutt a shark. and that was literally 2 seconds later. We turned the camera down that road, and he headbutted in, you know, air. And then we put the shark in and post, and it looked fantastic, and it just worked, and it's totally Sharknado. I don't think we could have scripted that moment. It was just one of those things that happened on the spot. And the same thing happened in number 4. We had the Chippendales in Vegas. Yeah. And it's like, I talked to one of them going, hey, will you like crotch rocket a shark? And it's like, sure. And in my head, I'm going, Sci-Fi is never going to let this happen. And of course, that ended up being the first thing you saw in the trailer for Sharknado 4. And that was just sort of an off the cuff moment.
It's definitely something, and it cracks you up in so many ways, the people that you have working with you. And are they going to die? That's the big thing that when you interview these guests, are you going to make it to the next Sharknado? Are you going to die? Because you do kill off a lot of interesting celebrities, for sure.
Yeah, we kill off a lot of celebrities, and I'll also kind of hint that this is like the Empire Strikes Back of Sharknadoes. We get a little dark by the end of this movie. But the cliffhanger at the end of this film, if there happens to be a 6, it's probably the clearest idea of where we would be going for the next movie. So I think people are going to go, I can't believe they just did that. And the 6th movie is just going to be absolutely bug nut crazy if we get a chance to make it.
So you always say a chance to make it, but every year I'm sure you're like, oh my gosh, it's getting even more popular. I don't think they're going to pull you off very soon. Anthony, how many movies would you make of Sharknado if they allowed you to do that? Would you get to how many?
I think as long as we had, I think as long as we have the ideas. Also, I think that the key to these movies, I mean, like I've sort of been a consistent since the first movie, but you know, you need Ian and Tara back. They're the core of the film. The moment you go, hey, let's get Edward Norton to play Finn's cousin, Finny McBob or whatever. It's suddenly like the movie starts becoming something else. You need those two because that's the core nucleus of the film. That's what people like, and any of the supporting cast that returns, you know, that's gravy on top of it. But you need the two of them because that's Sharknado. And so I mean, in terms of how many of them you can make, we could be like Law and Order and be making them, you know, for the next 20 years. But keeping the consistency, I think is when we run out of ideas, I think that's when it should end.
So think about this. There's the summer is perfect for Sharknado because there's Shark Week and then there's Sharknado. And you are starting to become a week just like Shark Week. And I'm sure that makes you absolutely excited because it's just that summer and Sharknado. It's a perfect fit.
Yeah, they have all these movies on Sci-Fi, shark-related movies leading up to Sharknado. But here's the thing it's so insane. So the Discovery does Shark Week, and they have Michael Phelps, and Michael Phelps is gonna race against the shark, and you're going, oh great! And then you watch it, and he's racing against the CGI shark, and it's a total sham. We have Olympic skater Sasha Cohen in our movie, and she takes out a CGI shark with her skating blades. So I think, in terms of the gold medal against CGI Shark, Sharknado Week takes down Shark Week on Discovery on that alone. Because if you're going to do a CGI shark, Michael Phelps better jump on that shark and tear it in two, not lose against the CGI shark. That's just completely weak.
Maybe he'll be
Sasha Cohen. You're our gold medalist winner.
Maybe he's listening now and he'll say, "Okay, Sharknado 6, I'm in it." Michael Phelps with a cameo appearance. You never know.
Yeah, Michael Phelps, you got to redeem yourself. You lost to a CGI shark. Come on, it's like that is like so Sharknado unto itself. Like it makes less sense than sharks in a tornado in our movie. So I just race against a real shark. You're a Discovery Channel. Come on.
There you go, Anthony, making friends for sure. But you can do that for sure. And so storyline-wise, we just got to check it out. That's on bottom line. You're a Sharknado fan. If you've never seen Sharknado, please see Sharknado 5. And I'm sure in a couple weeks we'll be having the marathon of all the movies running again. Right, Anthony? It'll happen probably at the end of August or September.
Yeah, well, they're running the marathon. They're running the marathon before Sharknado 5 on Sunday night.
Are they?
We start around, I think. I think 11 or 12 o'clock, whatever time it is. I don't know the specific time. Sharknado will begin, and then it'll lead into Sharknado 5.
So watch all of them.
You can have your marathon. Yeah. It's a full-day event. It is Sci-Fi Super Bowl. Get your kids together. Get your family. Get your friends. Have shark cookies. And
I love it.
Get ready for the most insane installment yet.
All right, best place we can find information on you, Anthony. I know you're really connected to social media. You love to engage with your fans. Where's the best place we can go for that?
For Twitter, it's AC-Ferrante. It's ACFERRANTE. On Instagram, it's anthony-c-ferrante. Our band, which did a bunch of the theme songs, we're Quint the Band on Twitter. Check it out. Check the movie out, and tweet me. And we're going to be live tweeting Sunday night, so it should be a blast.
All right. Well, thanks, Anthony, for calling. Best of luck, and everyone needs to tune in Sunday. Thanks again for calling.
Thanks. Take it easy.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. You're listening to Neil Haley's show, and we'll be back in just a moment. We're back to the Neil Haley show on the Total Celebrity segment, and I'm excited to welcome the program from NBC's Midnight Texas, Dylan Bruce. Dylan, thanks for calling. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning.
Absolutely, Dylan. I wanted to bring up one thing. I looked at a lot of your background, but when I am just a Heroes nerd, so I have to kind of reminisce about Heroes, your experience on Heroes, because there's like these people that I just love Heroes, and just wanted to ask one question before we get into Midnight Texas. But what an experience that was being on that show, wasn't it?
Oh, it was amazing. I was a fan of the original series as well, and when I heard they were rebooting it, I was excited, and then the fact that I was playing a guy with super strength just I had a feeling I was going to have a lot of fun doing it, and I did. There were scenes where I was attached to cables, throwing guys through walls. It was really cool. And being a fan of the original series, and seeing horn rim glasses on set, and a lot of the other characters that they brought back was really really cool from a fan perspective. But yeah, what a cool show! What a fun show!
Yeah, again, that's the those kind of sci-fi shows, you just wish that, it's able to get a run even longer. And it all goes back to the creator and seeing what happens next in the story, and you never know. But, Dylan, I think the show you're on now, Midnight Texas, is going to do very well based on how many people love, first of all, vampires. I mean, that whole process of from True Blood to different things, just people are just so fascinated with vampires, aren't they?
They absolutely are. But, the cool thing about our show is it's not specifically a vampire show. We have probably the coolest vampire that's ever been on television, and I know that's lofty praise, but he's not just a blood-sucking vampire. He can also leech power, leech energy from people, so he doesn't need to kill to feed and to stay alive, which is really cool. And he's played by Peter Mensa, who's amazing. You recognize him probably from Spartacus and the 300. But we also have like a witch. We have an angel, hit women. We're battling demonic entities. There's a Nazi biker gang that comes into town. There's a nest of vampires, suspicious cops. I mean, the hits never stop. So it's pretty cool. It's got all the fantasy and supernatural horror elements that people would like, but it's also grounded in cool relationships, and there's like some big love stories, and it's all about friendship and banding together to overcome insurmountable odds. So it's a really fun show. It's another fun show. I mean, God, we got a talking cat. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, and then also the thing is, you got the fans from the book that are going to be into this, right? That's the other part of this, right? That for our listeners out there that might not know much about Midnight Texas. Yeah. Yeah, like the books were New York Times bestsellers, the Midnight series by Charlene. There was only 3 books. But, yeah, we've got kind of a built-in audience. But more than that, I've never been associated with a show where, social media is such a huge aspect of it nowadays, and just seeing the fan response and the instant reaction to the first 2 episodes that have aired has been really nice for all of us, just to see that people are really enjoying what we did, because we had so much fun making it. And that's like, it's all about the fans. It's all about the supernatural fans who are the smartest and the best fans, and the fact that they're enjoying it just warms our hearts. It's pretty cool. Absolutely, and you talked about that whole social media, but we'll get to that in a second, Dylan. But let's jump really quickly to your character. Tell us about your character.
Well, my character, I play Bobo Winthrop. He's a kind, warm guy. He's kind of a pillar of the community, and he's proprietor of the local pawn shop. He would do anything for his neighbors, human or supernatural. But his fiance's murder in the first episode kind of threatens to reveal his dark and mysterious past, the past that he's been running from that brought him to Midnight Texas.
Awesome. So we have to tune in Monday to find out what's going to happen next. That's for sure. It sounds like, Dylan, without giving anything
Absolutely.
away. Right?
Yeah, find out what Bobo has in his bunker. You never know what could be down there.
Yeah, Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern for sure, Dylan. But what I think that's really amazing, you talk about, again, the book series, but also you have a amazing director part of this as well. So the visual effects, the different things that are involved in this show is mind-blowing, right? For sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The pilot episode was directed by Niels Arden-Oplev, who, if you're familiar with his work, he did the original The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo that was, adapted with Daniel Craig. But he's directed tons of TV. They call him the pilot getter, because every pilot he directs ends up going to series. But he was really cool, and he had a really interesting take on how he wanted the show to go. And our head writer, Monica Owusu-Breen, has been in, she worked on Alias, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Lost. So she knows that supernatural world. And the people that did our CG, they did we have a were-tiger. The people that did Life of Pi's tiger did our tiger. And we have all these, if you're a big horror fan, we have all these, the guy that played Jason comes in one week as one of our big bads. The guy that played Michael Myers plays one of our big bads one week. So all these really cool horror elements, and yeah, it all comes together really well. And it just we also use practical props and practical costumes and enhance them with CG. So it's not just all crazy CGI kind of stuff. It looks real, and we just put that little nice tweak on it to just make it push it over the top with the CG. But for us, when we're acting in these scenes, that person was really there. It's not like we were acting with the tennis ball, which was a lot of fun for us as actors. It was pretty spooky seeing the kind of work they did on these costumes on set. They really went above and beyond.
You know, also you talk about, Dylan, you're a fan, you talked about heroes, then talk about horror. So it seems like you're into horror and also sci-fi, aren't you? As a background of something you enjoy. Yeah.
Oh, and me personally, yeah. And this show definitely is all that together, encompassed into one. It's. I mean, if you've seen the first episode, seeing my bloated dead, fiance, and she's gurgling water out of her mouth, and all the hauntings and stuff like that. I think a lot of the fan reaction was like, "Thanks a lot. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight." But yeah, we do. The sci-fi element is there too, with the angel and vampire, all that kind of cool stuff. So it's got all the elements I like in a show. So the fact that I was able to be a part of it and be part of this insane world is above and beyond for me. It's just such a fun show. It's my guilty pleasure. I'm even enjoying watching it with the fans when it comes on Monday nights.
So you're social media live tweeting with people then. So where we can connect with you, Dylan, so people can connect with you during the show and other times for them to learn what's going on with you. Where's the best place we can go?
Yeah, you could go to Twitter. I'm at Dylan Bruce, DYLANBRUC, or at Dylan the Bruce on Instagram. And on Twitter, we like the cast of Midnight Texas. We're so passionate about the show, and we want to interact with the fans and see what they're thinking. So we're pretty much live tweeting every week, and you just use the hashtag Midnight Texas, and we'll find you.
All right, we'll use that hashtag when it goes out to syndication as well, Dylan, on Monday on all different channels.
Oh, I love that. I love that,
and we'll be connecting you, Dylan, and all those tweets. So get ready for your Twitter to be blown up on Monday. But good talk to you, man, and best of luck with ventures, and I enjoyed the convo. So take care, man.
Thanks, Neil. Me too.
All right, take care. All right, thanks. All right, see ya. Bye-bye. You're listening to the Neil Haley Show. We'll be back in just a moment.
We're back to the Neil Haley Show, part of the Total Celebrity segment, and I'm excited to welcome the program from NBC's Marlon, Notlim Taylor. Notlim, thanks for calling. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Fantastic. You got to be so excited for August 16th, aren't you?
I am. I'm super excited. It's just so unreal. It's crazy, but I'm really excited to see what happens.
Absolutely. And I watched the trailer, and I really think this show is the right show in so many ways, Notlim, to come out because of just some of the showing a real family in certain ways of what people are dealing with nowadays. Don't you agree?
Yes, I do, yeah. I mean, even though Marlon and Ashley are divorced, their love is what keeps the family together, and they're putting a positive look on divorce rather than a negative look. So I really applaud that.
I do too, and I tell you, I think that work with someone like Marlon Wayans, what an unbelievable treat. I'm a huge fan of In Living Color and just watching the Wayans and all those different from back in the day, and he is just so funny, and I think it's a perfect type of dad that's not a perfect dad but yet really cares.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, for sure. So tell me specifically about how this happened, how you got the audition, the story of how you got this part.
The process was a really long process. I had to go in and read chemistry and read with other boys. Take a while until I heard back from them. But when I did, I was super excited, and I couldn't believe that I got the role, and I'm working with amazing people. So it was a really long process, but I'm glad I went through it.
So were you familiar with some of Marlon's work before auditioning?
I was not familiar with any of his work, actually. The only thing I knew that he was on when I used to watch with my dad was the Wayans Bros, and I didn't even recognize him really, so.
It was kind of a surprise then, right? Once you saw his background and his history and how connected he is in this business. And
exactly.
And that's the great thing. So tell us about your character, and your character is very interesting in that she's very intelligent, yet will kind of follow Dad's role in some of the bluntness as I watched in the trailer.
Yeah, she trusts her dad so much, though, that she will listen or do anything that he tells her to, no matter how immature or how crazy it is. She trusts her dad so much. Marley is a 14-year-old bookworm and a 4.0 student. She's really educated, extremely educated, and she's very mature for her age. And she juggles a lot of responsibility between dealing with the divorce of, her parents and helping out with her little brother and homework. So.
That's wild. And that's the part that people don't understand is that your character has to go through a lot with seeing the divorce and seeing what's happening, but still being able to perform well in school. And that's part of this process of when families do break up, how they have to stay together in certain ways to just be that support.
Right. And I would have to say for Marley, it doesn't seem like the relationship between her parents has changed because they love each other so much, even though they are divorced. And as the season continues, you'll notice that the relationship between the kids and the parents has grown even stronger.
And what a perfect time for this to premiere, in my opinion, because of you're not going to be dealing with, this September. You guys can get that following going and look out. And I just see a lot of chemistry with the cast and the storylines. And I was laughing quite a bit with just different things that you have to deal with in something where a family's divorced, and the different things, and Dad having to deal with dating and meaning you dating and things like that. But Marlon's able to put that spin on things to make it really funny in a challenging situation.
Right.
Absolutely. Would you say that your character is the same as yourself in ways, or is there tell us some of those differences?
That's the favorite thing about my character. We're so alike in so many ways. And, she's a bookworm. I'm a bookworm. I love reading. My favorite book genre is Greek mythology. And we're around the same age. I just turned 15. So it's really cool. And it was easy for me to transition into character.
And because you've acted before, is it challenging to balance school and acting? Especially at your age?
Surprisingly, no, because I've always tried to make sure that I'm ahead in school. I'm homeschooled for the first time, so it is easier for me to get ahead of my class. But it's not really challenging for me. I've been in practice, and I've been doing this for a while. And my father has been pushing me, and, he's like, stay ahead of the game. So, no, to answer your question, it's not really challenging.
Would you say it's because of your father's influence of pushing you and in a positive way that keeps you going to wanting to be a success academically, not just also as an actor?
Yeah, definitely. He's always pushing me no matter what, with homework, with schoolwork, with studying lines, with acting, with singing, with karate. He's always been pushing me because he knows that I can go the limit.
Do you have a hope of once you graduate from high school, are you going to go on to college, or are you try to act at the same time? It just depends on how things go, right?
Exactly. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. This is the time for me to figure out who I am and what I'm going to be when I grow up. So I might go to college, I might not, but we'll just see what happens.
Well, you definitely can handle it and then probably go back to college at one point in time if you do continue to be successful in acting. What is your favorite subject in school, by the way?
It is English. I love English and I love history. So I've always loved it. I like to learn about different people and their cultures and what's going on in my community. And I love reading so much.
Here's a history lesson for you that involves your pop culture because of you being in the entertainment business. You need to watch CNN's 80s, 90s, 70s. It's really interesting history, I think, of what the pop culture was like because you never know who you'll be working with next. It's
right,
business.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's my list. It's my bucket list of interviews when I watch those, and then somehow I get a call. You're going to interview so and so, and I'm like, oh my gosh! I just put that on CNN's the '90s or '80s. I'm not plugging that as much as the history of it. You would like it because of history. It really does a great job in the whole decade of every decade. Like right now, they're doing the '90s, and it's very interesting. So I'm just giving you, as a former teacher, saying you're into history. Learn your business history. That will be important, especially when you get to work with amazing people like Marlon and your mom, who've been in some very interesting shows in their careers. That's the way to kind of break the ice, especially on set. And then they say, "Oh, you were so easy to work with. I got this movie for you." So that's just how this business works. And I think, you seem very easygoing and a very pleasure to speak with, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Where's the best place we can connect with you? Again, August 16th. Got to check out Marlon on NBC, but where can we find information on you? Where can we go?
You can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Notlim Taylor. That's NOTLIM TAYLOR. All
right, fantastic. Any other projects going on right now, or just Marlon right now? Anything else to tell your fans?
Just Marlon right now, but I'm just Marlon right now. So, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I definitely, when I watch a trailer, I think the show's going to do really well. I just think so, and I think it was needed for NBC's lineup, and I think it's going to do great, and you're going to do great things. So, thanks again for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Take care. Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. You're listening to the Neil Haley Show. We'll be back in just a moment.